Guys, there are a lot of us out there that are like, no knife is too big. But there is a lot of people. There are a lot of people out there that a knife can be too big. And that's why I'm glad that CJRB started making this. This is the CJRB Mica. This is a small, and I mean small, little button lock folder. We're going to take a look at it from above. I definitely dig this. It's a very nice little knife. So let's turn us around and look at it from above. Guys, this is not a knife that typically would be in my wheelhouse. This is the Mica. Now, this is a very small knife. I would consider this a mini knife, not quite a micro knife, but a mini knife done by CJRB, and it's kind of loosely based. Well, not loosely based. It's really kind of based on the Pyrite. Now, the Pyrite has got a different handle shape. This is straight across the back, and there's a couple little differences, but this is a very nice little knife. And when I say small, what I typically think of as small is something like this. The Kaiser Original, which is a small knife. It's not a real big knife. It's like about a 3-inch blade, but it's definitely outside of what I typically would carry. But I do like this. Let's get this out of the way and I'll tell you about this knife. So this is a drop point AR RPM 9 blade, and it's done in aluminum with steel liners. And it's in CJRB's really good button locks they've been doing. So you're getting a really good button lock knife, just like all their other budget models. But this thing is small. It's like the size of my finger. On my tabletop here, it is just about 3¼ inches closed overall length. You're looking at 6½ inches overall. Not a big knife at all. But I have to say, this is a little powerhouse when it comes to how it cuts, because while you have a relatively short blade, they went with not real super thick blade stock and a nice broad blade with a very broad transition from the spine. It's a flat grind that goes almost all the way from the top down. And the other thing it has going for it, while it's small, it's a 3-finger grip for me. It's got a full finger choil that allows me to get all the way up on here and do some very good cutting and have a full 4-finger grip. And when I say it's got a full choil, that's big enough for my fingers to be in there and I'm not up against the edge. This does have thumb studs on it, so it's reverse flickable and thumb stud flip, but it is a button lock, which means that you can button lock flip it, and with it being a button lock, completely ambidextrous. Does have a reversible pocket clip, which is a nice, fairly deep carry pocket clip. And then we get into really the showcase of this. With it being aluminum, the hard coat anode that you can do, you can get these striking iridescent colors on the aluminum, and it is one of the best coatings that you'll get for a knife, because aluminum oxide is very resilient. Hard coat anode is one of the most resilient coatings on a knife because it's the same thing you're going to use to sharpen your knives. It's aluminum oxide. It is amazingly good. This thing is a full deep carry, so it's sitting right there at the top of the knife when you carry it in pocket. And this is one of the few knives that I have ever had come in that I say the lanyard hole looks good on this. It really does, because they used a tube in there, which not always a fan of the tubes because they can make, disassembly problematic, but it is very attractive because you've got that copper and the blue. Now they have another one. I'll do a video about it separate. I have another one that is the mini Pyrite, which is also a button lock flipper. So we'll talk about this one in a video here in the next couple of days. Actually, I like this one better than the Mica, just for a couple small reasons. But talking about a nice small folder. Now, who would this be for? This is not something that I would carry every day, but I would carry it, and I'll tell you when. There's a lot of times that I'm walking around the house, I'm in a pair of shorts or something like that, and I don't want a big, heavy folding knife in my pocket. Sometimes it can be problematic, especially if you're like in pajamas and you don't just like a loose elastic band at the top of your pants. Another case scenario, if you're wearing slacks, this is a perfect knife for sitting around in an office scenario where you don't want something that's going to pattern real hard. Everybody doesn't need to see you've got a knife. You've got this in your pocket in a pair of slacks at the office, and it's not taking up that much space. It's not heavy. It's not swinging your pockets around. Just a nice little knife for that. So With the reversible pocket clip, this is a knife pretty much for everybody. Now, there are, I have to admit, you know, you can't gloss over some of the negative stuff. So there is some negative stuff. So let's flip this over and look at the bad stuff right after you guys hear from this video sponsor. Guys, with Halloween officially being in the books, you know what that means. It's the start of the holiday season, which means Coffee Brand Coffee is starting to release some of their new flavors. You can see me opening up the one that they sent me right there. This is the butterscotch toffee. It is amazing. I'm having a cup of it right now. They have got some of the best flavored coffees you're going to find. All of their coffee is roasted on demand when you order it, ground or bean, sent to your door. They also have cocoa. They have tea. They have got cold brew bags. And the thing is, now that it's the holiday season, they are starting to do their gift boxes. So if you want to get a gift for someone for Christmas, I absolutely recommend it. There is no risk because it's a money back guarantee if you try their coffee. And you can save 10% with my link. So check them out. Give them a shot. I absolutely love what they're doing over there. Guys, I got to get out of here and get back to filming. So just the obvious thing for most people is this is a very small knife. This is not going to fit a lot of my needs. It is literally the size of my thumb, maybe my index finger, maybe a little bit wider. It's not the type of knife that I typically would carry. And for me, there's an issue with the deployment. I like to reverse flick a knife, but you can see on a knife this size, when I have the knife in position, I have to like get it in an odd position to actually be able to reverse flick it. Because when I do it the way I typically would, I'm knocking the thumb stud into my finger. So just a small little thing. I don't know if there would be a way to correct it. I just would have to like reposition, but it just is so small. When I do that, I just feel like I don't have good control of the knife. Next thing, it's a small thing, but on a knife this small, it's really, I don't know if they didn't change the size of the plunger they were using on their other button locks, but on a knife this tall, that does stand up really high. It definitely does. And when you're holding it like this, you can definitely feel it. And in a pinch grip, because this is small, I'm not going to get way up on the blade. In a pinch grip, I have loosened the lock on it. Just something to think about, whether, you know, if you're going to get one of these, that it might be something that in pinch grip, you kind of disengage the lock slightly. And then I got to say, the final thing is the jimping on it. It's really soft. This is just something I don't understand. If that's not at all functional jimping. I don't understand why companies haven't gotten the message. Jimping is supposed to prevent you from doing this. The point of jimping is to allow you to have traction on the back of that blade. If your hands are wet, if it's slippery, it prevents you from sliding forward. Good point case for really good jimping is this. If your hands are wet, that you are on that jimping on that Cjrb'S. There's a handful of other knives that really do it well. And the fact is, on a small knife like that, this is where I would want jimping. I want this to be stable. On a small knife, I'm losing a lot of stability and grip on this by not having jimping on the spine of the knife. It's all slippery, considering it's like slab aluminum and just the plain, you know, there's no real traction on this knife, and that jimping would have been great to have. So just some small little things. All in all, great knife. This is something this is my daughter's. She has laid claim to this. And I was going to use the small pyrite as a giveaway, and my wife laid claim to this. So just so you know, you're not going to get these, but I will put links down below. These come in a lot of different versions. The cool thing about the aluminum is you can do it in some really striking colors that you won't ever get on titanium. And they are doing all-tem and some other versions. I'll put links to a bunch of them down below. As a matter of fact, I put some links to these in a post. So guys, not a real long video. Surprised how much I like this. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day. Guys, absolutely love this. It is amazing how good this is at the size. It doesn't give up anything. That's the thing I like about it. You're not giving up anything with this smaller knife. And for somebody that's in an office, maybe wearing slacks, or if you're just somebody that can't carry a large knife, or if you want something for your wife to put in her purse, might be right up your alley. This honestly would be a good first knife for a young boy to have. So just all those options that are out there. I just love the fact that they're making knives available. They're bringing new people into the knife hobby by offering more options. So we'll look at this in depth more. I'm definitely going to do some testing on it. So if you guys like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but please try to tell me why. I can't change that content if you don't tell me what you don't like. You want to support the channel? I know I threw an ad in. It is the holidays. Coffee Brand Coffee is going to be my primary sponsor because they are offering holiday deals on their gift boxes. Make sure you go check them out. Tempered Trail, Coffee Brand Coffee, Dull Strong Knives, all of them are my sponsors. Tempered Trail Dull Strong Knives have, Tempered Trail Coffee Brand Coffee have discounts built into the links, but you can also use coupon code Crazy Sharp, all one word, over at those two vendors, plus Fair and Forge Knife Works and Rosecraft Blades. I have got affiliates with all of the major knife vendors down below. Blade Ship Free, Knife Ship Free, Blade HQ, GP Knives. They're all down there. I have an Amazon store, and I have a membership with a bunch of different benefits. I have a lot of knives that I'm going to try and give away before the holidays to the paying members just to give back for supporting the channel. You can get into the memberships. There's 3 different tiers. Go check that out. And I have built a public Discord for all of you guys for the community. So guys, before I fumble with my words anymore because of the medication, let's end this. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.